Hi, it's Wednesday. That means you're here with us. Yeah.
I
So
am
while people are
excited.
joining, let me throw the things on the text onto the screen. Everyone go to coopedup.com and
Cooped
we'll
Up.
show up and you can give me your email address and I will be sending you. I think the next thing I'm going to send out is some of my favorite Halloween decorations. We'll see about that.
Oh,
Follow Kerrie on Instagram. She is at Food Sparks. It's a
that's
private
right.
account, so you'll have to request, but
I'll
she
let you in.
she'll let you in.
We'll let you in.
And I'm on a different computer today than normal, so I already apologize in advance for any meltdowns I have. And then I'm Cooped Up is my handle on Instagram also, if you want to follow me there too. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
yay! My mama says hi, Cooper and Kerrie. Hi,
I saw
hi,
that.
Cheryl. Hi, Mama.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hope you're doing well. So what's going on, Kerrie? I just let me tell you what's going on here. Actually, I just picked up the kids from school,
Right.
and then I was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to Tom Thumb real quick." I don't want to go to Tom Thumb. Why can't you drop us off at the house? I was like, "You need to go with me." What?
Do you want to eat?
Is it because today's Papa's birthday? Today's Todd's birthday, by the way. We'll get to that in a moment. That's
Todd.
why I'm drinking. We're taking a break from
Oh,
the wagon.
I just realized you were drinking.
Cheers to Todd's birthday.
Todd's birthday and
So
Tom Thumb
we
apparently
get
caused you to
we
drink.
get to Tom Thumb, and I'm like, okay, well, we're here. We're getting flu shots.
I got mine today, kids.
Yes, and so
Yes, look at that.
Mason was fine with it. Although he bled like crazy afterwards.
Really?
No, never seen that before.
Weird.
Claire was in full freak out mode. Pretty much. One time, Claire got shots when she was little, like 3 years old. She got shot. They poked it in her leg. She grabbed it and pulled it out.
Are you serious?
The doctor's like, what is going? Like he had never. So after that, I always had to like lay across her body, like and he would have her legs. And yes, it was.
Well, these kids are traumatized from their
Claire
flu
literally
shots.
grabbed the needle and was like, God, gonna strike back.
Oh
So we ran and got flu shots at Tom Thumb. I'd already gotten mine a couple weeks ago, and
yeah,
wanted to. The doctors. There's 3 doctors who are part of our school family who are kind of medical consulting for. They put out a video yesterday, and their number one recommendation right now is everyone go get your flu shot.
Yeah.
So that you don't confuse the flu with COVID or COVID with the flu.
Yeah.
Basically, and so
yeah.
we did that. Got that done. I rewarded them. Mason got a big old bag of powdered donuts.
I thought you were going to say big old bag of donuts. That's where I was going in my head, but I really didn't think you were going to say that.
The big old bag of powdered donuts. He loves those things. Those white ones. Those,
yes.
Yeah.
The Donettes.
Yes, they make the roof of my mouth swell. Actually, there's something in them that I have a reaction to.
It's weird.
Even the chocolate ones, the roof of my mouth swells. So it's something in the donut itself.
It's chemicals.
Yeah, it totally.
Chemicals. Yeah.
And then Claire was like, I want to go to the bakery. And so we went over to the bakery. She got a sponge cake.
Bizarre.
Sponge cake.
She's like, this is my flu shot sponge cake. Is she Mary Berry off of the Great British Bake Off?
He loves
sponge is nice.
or no, angel food cake. Is that the same thing?
Similar.
Yeah,
sponge is more dense.
Angel food cake, the ones that's in like the reverse bundt cake pan.
Yes. With the hole in the middle. Yeah.
That's what she always wants, and that's what she got. And so then we literally just got home like a few minutes ago before I came live here. So.
Well, your new 4:30 time's working out
better.
New
4:30, I like the time slot a lot better.
I'm fine with it.
Todd laughs at me because I'm like, I got a new time slot, Todd. He's like, you are being too serious.
I got a primetime time slot.
Yeah.
I'm Thursday must-see TV. I mean,
bless him. He and I are both the same age now, 45. I'll be 46 in 3 months. And so this is the little window. But bless him for being co-conspirator, reluctant passenger on the crazy train known as Koopa and Todd Koch. So I love him, and I'm so happy. And I'm glad I get to drink again a little bit.
Todd, I hope you're drinking on the other side of the house. If you're watching, I don't even know if he's watching.
I went actually, this is not great wine, but I went and got a couple of bottles of some Kim Crawford.
fancying it up in the Koch house tonight.
I know. And
Kids.
then we're gonna order Uber Eats, and we're gonna order it from somewhere nice. So not like just Thai or something, like maybe like steaks and stuff.
Yeah, like nice stuff.
Yep. And I had my first in-person meeting today. I had to go and meet somebody today. And
how'd you feel about that?
a little nervous about it, but everyone was in masks. It was all fine. And so, yeah, Stephanie's saying, "Oh, Cooper," about the Kim Crawford, I'm sure.
Yes, definitely.
I know. It was what Tom Thumb had. So we said.
Meanwhile, I was just talking to Cooper before I jumped on. My friend Mark and I are going to travel at the end of October. We're going to California if it doesn't burn up. And part of it's Sonoma. And I was talking about this winery I wanted to go to. And I was like, oh, look, they have a $150 experience because you get to go on the fields and they have lavender fields and the winery, but they take you around on a golf court and ATV.
Yeah.
And they have these big, beautiful chrome sculptures.
Yeah.
And all these things. And I told Cooper, I was like, that's $150 well spent to me because you get to sit in the lavender fields and they give you the wine tasting. I was like, that's where it's at for me. And he's ordering Kim Crawford, but he did also say he would also do that. So Kim Crawford at home, Sonoma, you go to fancy winery.
Yeah, exactly. So have you ever heard of Hull Wines?
Yes.
So I don't know where they are. I think they're in.
Yeah, we passed them every day when we were coming off the mountain in St. Helena on, what is that, 23?
Yeah,
they're just
St.
down
Helena.
from
I did Google it, St. Helena. So they are a Dallas family, and they're the ones who he owns, he's the developer of, I think, the new Arts Tower in the Arts District. And I think he was one of the people who like did Legacy or something like that. Like big time. Maybe Mockingbird Station also, like big time developer. And but his wife, Catherine, I think is her name. Catherine, yes. She runs the vineyards, and they do a Facebook Live, like a wine tasting every week.
Oh, wow.
This week they had Catherine O'Hara as the guest.
Oh.
And last week it was like Morgan Fairchild. And the week before that it was like Rob Lowe. I mean, it is big. I don't know if she's paying them to do it or what.
Yeah.
Big time.
Maybe they're buddies.
It's really dark on screen right now.
Just darker than usual, but you look lighter on Facebook. It's probably just the resolution in my phone.
Okay.
Yes, Hall Winery is right there. 5 years ago, we stayed on an estate in St. Helena. It was a big birthday thing. There were like 11 of us. It was big time fancy. But we stayed and we drive down the mountain around the redwoods every day. It was beautiful. And then right when you get there in 23 and you're going down through, it's like either before or after. I think it's before Gott's Hamburger, the big hamburger, Gott's Roadside.
Yeah.
Hall was always right there, and I kept seeing it. And I was like, we should go. We never did. I didn't realize there was a Dallas tire. I probably
is that the same Gott's that was here in Dallas, or is that a different?
No, it's is it Gott's? Am I getting that right? Let me Google it.
No, it's Goff's was here in Dallas, not Gott's. Goff.
Yeah. Yes, Napa hamburger.
Yeah.
But it is a really good burger.
Jody likes the name of that vineyard.
Yeah. Gott's Roadside.
Yeah. Awesome.
Jody Hall. Yeah, Stephanie said Hall is good. So maybe I'll go when we go to Sonoma. Maybe I'll go there as well.
I'm looking at some photos of it right here. It's got a big like rabbit sculpture. It looks really good.
Let me look at it. Yeah, we went to Duckhorn. Is it Duckhorn? What's the duck one? That we went to Mum, that makes all the champagne. That was actually a really cool tour.
I've only been once. We went to Napa, and I've only been once. And then I've been to Fredericksburg before too. I actually am on the board of a winery in Burleson that owns a third of a winery called 4.0 Cellars down in Fredericksburg. So I've been down for site visits for that. And Monica's saying I am running late. But Cooper's drinking the real stuff. So worth it. I know it's for Todd's birthday. We are celebrating Todd's birthday today.
45.
Oh, and also, I put on fucking pants today, and I think it was only the second time since March that I've worn pants.
Yeah, I've only worn pants maybe once or twice.
Yeah, and my legs are trying to reject it as much as they can.
Like, no, I can't breathe.
And I'm not even wearing
can't breathe.
Special. It's like ripped knee jeans. It's not even like fancy. I just had to make sure I got something with some stretch in it.
Yeah, I'm leaving on Sunday for Memphis, road trip, and going to be there for a couple 3 days. And last weekend I was like, oh shit, I guess I better go through and like I bought jeans and pants and stuff during COVID, but I've
Uh-huh.
never worn them. Still had tags. I was like, I
Yeah.
guess I better go through and figure out from the Nordstrom sale what I want to keep, what I want to take back. And then I need to wash all this crap so I
Yeah.
can take it with me because I was like, it dawned on me. I was like, I'm going to have to wear pants. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to wash all my jeans.
Oh,
I had like,
have you seen that I ordered? Have you seen that I ordered a trench coat based on
yes. Yep, we talked about that.
recommendation? So I ordered it. I ordered it as a large, and I got it, and it feels like I'm swimming in it. So then I ordered it as a medium, and the shoulders hit better. The sleeves, the length and stuff is fine, and all of that, but it won't close all the way. It's like it's double-breasted, and it's real tight if I try to close it. And I'm thinking, so I'm trying to decide: do I keep the medium that doesn't close but looks better on me, or do I keep the large, which is more functional as a jacket, but I don't like it as much?
Even if you wrap it and tie it, because that's usually what you do with a trench coat, right?
Yeah.
You overlap it and then you tie it.
I guess I could maybe not actually button it and then just use the tie and keep it.
Yeah. But is it too bulky on the shoulders?
The big one is, the larger size is. The other one is fine. The shoulders are great. It's a much more fitted look.
Well, you can get it tailored.
I think I am going to keep the medium one, which is less functional. But how often do I need to fucking close a trench coat in Texas either, right?
I mean, really the only time you wear a trench coat, like raining, you wear it because it repels the rain. So.
Well, I'm doing it for fashion.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a good thing to throw on cloudy, rainy days like this.
Yeah.
Did you get it at Nordstrom?
My sister is being a bitch. She says, return them and find a different one.
You don't like it, Monica? Did you get it at Nordstrom? By chance?
Macy's. Macy's had.
Never mind. You can get your free alterations at Nordstrom.
Oh, yeah. I always forget about that. Mm-hmm. And Monica Fayed is saying, I think I say her last name right. Love all your recommendations. My leaves candle from Bath and Body Works via Kerrie's recommendation.
Just in time for the fall time. So you haven't lit it yet? You've smelled it, but you haven't lit it. Yeah. I'm assuming.
And Faith Howard is saying, I never button my London fog. Like Kerrie said, you just wrap it and tie it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people do that. They don't button it.
That's good. That's good. But my sister is saying, it's 2020. You may need to close it. Well, who knows what's coming? The locusts are next.
That's about all that's left, man. I'm just waiting. I don't want to say it out loud, but I'm like, the only thing else that could happen in this year that just be a WTF moment is if like Betty White died.
Shut up.
I know. I don't want to say it.
I accidentally said that. I accidentally said that on a recent issue, and
I know. Sorry.
I got reamed. Like people were like, "You should not will that into existence. Do not."
No, like someone like a Betty White or a Reese Witherspoon or Julia Roberts, like an America's sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like, if that happened, we would just all be like,
Monica Fide, thank you for the clarification. I won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fide like terrified, she said.
I've been saying Fayed, but it's Fide. Monica Fide.
Her sister says boulders from the sky.
Boulders from the sky are coming.
Potentially. I mean, who knows?
And Raven says to hurry up. Someone quick. Go bubble wrap Betty White.
I know. Like when all this, when anything even happens in the world, everyone goes, who's got an eye on Betty White?
Yes.
Who?
No one's ever concerned about Cher because I don't think we think she'll ever die.
I'm not quite sure she's not just a reincarnation right now. She's just like a hologram with some stem cells.
She's replaced all of her parts.
I don't know, man. I'll be shocked when she dies.
Speaking of holograms, you sent me via text the other day. You sent me a link or a TikTok or something like that to that voice episode where they were doing the hologram of Whitney Houston with Christina Aguilera singing, right? Did you watch it closely? That did not look like Whitney Houston's face.
Oh, it did. Well, yeah, it was just the one of when she wore that white dress on like the Grand.
Yeah, no, I know she did, but the face did not. I did not think the face looked like Whitney Houston.
I didn't look that close because I was on my phone on TikTok. I I mean, from a distance, I mean, not just looking at it,
From
I
a
thought,
distance, I agree that because
yeah,
everyone recognizes that dress and that she did that at the Oscars or something.
yeah, or something, yeah.
And because that song, "Don't Make Me Close One
Bodyguard,
More
1995.
Word Anymore." No, not 1995.
Yeah,
Older than that.
I was a
19.
senior.
It was Christmas of 1992.
Oh, you're
Because
right. I was a freshman. You're right.
it
You're
was
right.
it was my senior year of high school, and
Yeah.
I got a CD player for Christmas, and that was the first album I bought was the Bodyguard soundtrack.
My
The
dad
CD,
bought
the
the
CD.
single cassette. He was busy working on a renovation to our home at the time.
Hmm.
And there was that version, and you flipped it, and it was instrumental. My dad flipped that single cassette all day. My mom was like, if your dad doesn't, like, he loved
Did he
that
actually
song.
flip it, or did he have a boombox that
Oh,
reversed
no, he just had a
automatically?
boombox, but he had to, like, yeah, flip it, I think.
Let's see. I had my first cassette boombox or Walkman. I think automatically flipped it
Yes.
and played it opposite direction.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I had one of those, and I used to play this. It was actually my mom's Walkman, I think, and I played Robert Palmer constantly on that. You're addicted to love.
I know I told you this, and I can't remember if I'm going to mention it in case I didn't mention on the show before. But speaking of Whitney and Bodyguard, you have got to go watch that David Foster Off the Record Netflix
Oh, I
show.
need to.
You have got to watch it, Cooper, because
Although my issue with him is he seems like such an egotistical person.
he is, but he totally cops to it, which is what you like it when people are like, yeah, I'm this way, but here's
Yeah,
some other stuff.
exactly.
You will like it because he's like, I'm a dick, I'm an asshole, but here's my creative methodology. And everyone they interview will stand right up and go, yeah, like you might kill yourself getting a song, and you might be in the studio for 16 hours. She goes, but you're going to have a chart topping hit for like decades, so that everyone like came to it and was like, I don't give a shit if he's nice. Let's David freaking Foster.
My sister,
It's so good.
saying I should be a lounge singer. I
Should.
fully admit I can sing anything and sound like a lounge lizard.
Yeah.
That is just me. Yeah.
Well, he's got a whole part in there about Bodyguard, how that song came to be. I think you know this, but if other people don't know, that song is in the movie because of Kevin Costner.
Yes.
So Kevin Costner had an opinion about it, and then Clive Davis is over here, and David Foster was in the middle, and he's like, "This is the only time in my life I won't tell the whole story, but he's like, the only time in my life I admitted I was wrong." And they were right because they forced him to do something he didn't want to do.
So he tells that story also, a similar version of the same story in the Dolly Parton's America podcast.
Oh, okay.
By the way, if you have not listened, it's like
that's on my list.
Old. It's like 2 years old. It is the best. It is so. It is so good, and it's not just only about Dolly, and it's not just talking to Dolly. It's about just they go on these tangents about
write myself a note.
The world is impacted or shares a mentality. Like it's a wonderful, it's educational, it's inspiring, it's entertaining. She is fucking hilarious every time she's on it. But they talk about how Kevin Costner was making The Bodyguard, and they were struggling to find the final, like the song.
The song.
And Kevin Costner calls up David Foster and says, I think I know what it is. Which I'm no great Kevin Costner fan. I think he is boring.
I don't know the new show he's in, Yellowstone.
But I actually, after listening to the story and stuff, I have a little bit more mad respect for him because he did it's a solid for both Dolly and Whitney, and so I'm okay on that. Yeah. And so he called it David Foster. David Foster had never even heard the song before. Went out in Malibu, I think, where he was, and found an album of Linda Ronstadt's version of it.
Yes, which I didn't even know till I watched this.
I did not either. And I still have never heard it.
Me either.
But then he called up Dolly and said, hey, we're thinking about this. And she goes, please sing the whole fucking song, basically. Yeah. Because Linda Ronstadt left out the spoken word part of it.
Yeah.
Like the third verse. Dolly was like, please make sure you sing the third verse. And he was like, what third verse? Because he don't know Ronstadt's version of it. And it totally like made the movie. Mm-hmm. And he was, yep.
And so the big fight between Kevin Costner and Clive Davis and David Foster was Kevin said, this needs to start out a cappella. And David Foster was like, no, it doesn't. I've written this crescendo and I've written all the musical and the orchestra behind it. And he goes, it needs to start out. And so he went to Clive with it. And Clive's like, I agree with him. And David's like, I don't. And then Clive, he was like, Clive made the final decision. And so then that's when he came in, he added in that huge boo, the big crescendo.
She looks down and then boom.
Yes,
and then,
he added that in right after.
And
then all the strings and everything else with it. I'm telling y'all, this
Netflix
show is so
I have
good.
goosebumps right now.
I know, I do too. It's
30
I cried.
fucking
Cooper,
years
I sat
later.
on the couch and cried, and then they put her on, and it goes, and I just bawled like a baby because I was like, "This was so good."
I miss her so.
I do too. I
literally was listening to her today. I don't think there is a day that I don't listen to at least one Whitney Houston song.
Probably.
A single day. I mean, that sounds maybe pathetic. I don't know. There's almost not a single day that goes by that I do not listen to a Whitney Houston song.
Yeah. And in my playlist, your song comes up. Every time your song comes up, I text you. It's the Your Love Is My Love. Yeah. So right. Yeah.
And Kevin Costner is so hot.
Oh, and Yellowstone, girl. Quick aside on Yellowstone. First of all, didn't realize Kevin Costner was still that damn hot. That is a sexy ass show. I have only seen the first episode of the first season because you've got to buy season 1 and 2, which I'm going to do when I have time to binge. But that first episode's like an hour and 40 minutes. It's actually on Paramount, but right now the third season just wrapped, and that third season is the only one on demand.
I heard it on my Apple TV or something.
Yeah, they have the other 2 seasons. You can get them for depending on which streaming service you buy into, you can get them cheaper. Amazon wants $20 a season. But that first episode's an hour and 40 minutes. It's almost like a mini movie, and it sets up the whole thing. It's intense.
I've heard
so
the
good.
Season ender of whatever season just ended.
3.
Well, I'd never actually even heard of the show until a few weeks ago when it ended, and then everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get caught up on it before someone gives it away. I want to be caught up and watch it. But yeah, he's hot. The show starts out with him. He's, oh my God, still hot.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is. I mean, because he was already a full ass grown adult when we were in high school, right?
How old is Kevin? 65.
Okay, yeah.
Let me tell you, Daddy is good looking still.
I admit that. I just actually don't find him that interesting as an actor. I think he is the exact same character in every movie with just different costumes.
I could see that, yeah.
I think he's always just kind of the quiet, introverted one, But a movie that he made that does not get the credit it deserves is Waterworld.
Yeah, that's a good movie. It's weird, but it's good.
Movie is better than most people give it credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say Bodyguard's my favorite. Dances with Wolves is obviously great, but that's the only reason I had a hesitation.
Seen it.
What?
I know. I've never seen Dances with Wolves.
Are you serious? That's like the Titanic of native and Western genre. Oh my God. What? That's like when people say they haven't seen Steel Magnolias. I'm like, shut the front door.
I've also never seen Gone with the Wind.
Come on, you're gay.
I'm a busy gay. I don't have fucking 3 hours to watch something.
I know it's long, but I've seen
racism and the Civil War. I'm like, come on.
Pam says, stop or I'll have to drop this network. I know, Pam.
Oh, no. Are you going to cancel my show, Pam? You want to cancel it?
Oh, my. You've got to watch Dances with
And Raven has a great point. Kevin Costner and Robin Hood went from an English accent to a Californian accent mid-film, and they just went
with it.
That is my whole thing on that.
Right. You're right, Raven.
When there are actually so many movies like that where they're supposed to have foreign accents, but it's more just like a weird European accent as well.
Yeah.
And movies like, what was the movie, which actually I think is a great movie. It's a Tom Cruise movie where he's going to kill Hitler. What's the movie called? Anyway, there's some movie where Tom Cruise is going to kill Hitler. And it's actually a really good movie. I like it. But it is so weird in that movie. Valkyrie, yes. Mm-hmm. Everyone in that fucking movie has a different accent.
Oh, see, I never watched that one.
Everyone. And they all have a different kind of almost British, but not quite British, but they're supposed to be German. So occasionally they say Z, but then it's British again. Like it's so just
That would drive me nuts.
yeah.
Well, the Yellowstone, I'll give you enough. I mean, there's some sexiness there. There's plenty of really cute cowboy butt. I was on the fence because, I mean, I like Dances with Wolves. I respect it for what it was, but I'm just not a country western
Same.
period piece type person.
If
But
I'm going to watch
everyone's
a
like,
Western, it's going to be Brokeback Mountain.
yeah. But everybody was like, no, you'll love Yellowstone because it's set in modern times. They are ranchers and they are cattle ranchers. And that appealed to me because I actually grew up with that. But so like as soon as I started watching it, like all of this stuff from my childhood, I was like, oh, I get it. Like the whole premise is he owns a ton of land, like a ton. And he backs up to Yellowstone, right? Pam, correct me if I'm wrong, or someone have seen it. And he backs up to also the other side Indian reservation, and he's in a fight for land. So he's fighting the government.
Isn't there a developer or something?
And there's a developer. He's fighting a developer. He's fighting he's fighting the natives. And one of his sons is a lawyer, and so is his daughter, and she is badass. Like, she takes no prisoners. Like, she's so awesome.
You know what show, speaking of badass women, what show Todd loves, and I just am not into it, is Ozark.
Oh, Pam will chime in. Yeah, we're into Ozark.
Todd loves that show. Binges it. Like, the minute all watches all of them.
I did too.
And then it's like, where's some more?
It's so dark, but what's his name? The lead actor, he's punchy and funny, but it's dark humor.
Diane is saying Rip is hot.
Rip is hot.
Rip is
hot. Look, I'm just going to tell you, there's a part where there's something, I haven't watched it, but there's something going on. His ranch
is called Yellowstone. That's
the name of this company. It's he's got like a helicopter and acres and acres. It's crazy. But Rip, there's a part where the redheaded daughter comes home and she runs into Rip in the hallway of the house or whatever. And they have this exchange. So you can tell there was something there. And he's just kind of standing there and he's not saying anything. Did she run into
with her vagina or something?
No, they run into the hallway, right? She's wearing like a robe and she has nothing on underneath it. And she was like, well, are you going to just stand there and not say anything? Or are you going to take me to this room and fuck me? And I was like, what? Oh, and he's hot.
So she literally ran into him with her vagina.
Well, yeah, pretty much. So, no, he's hot. Rip. And I've heard there's a lot more with Rip, so I'm excited for that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's rough and tumble.
Everyone, people are saying, I love Ozark. I love Ozark.
It's good. You have to get into it, but it's good.
Michelle loves Ozark. Monica Fide, like Terrified, loves Ozark.
Monica Fide.
I don't have to just always say that.
Did you watch, speaking of recent series, did you watch The Home Edit, the organization? Netflix
no,
series?
I have not yet.
I've watched it.
I had already been warned that our credit card bill will be largely dedicated to the Container Store.
Yes.
Within a few weeks of that. One of the coworkers, Trish McBoy, who watches this sometimes. So hi Trish, if you're watching. She already texted him and said, is Cooper into The Home Edit? Because I heard him talk about it the other day. We spent thousands of dollars at the Container Store a week afterwards. And we've only seen like 2 episodes of it.
Yeah, I will tell you though, they also used some on the show, but they didn't talk about it because it's wasn't Container Store. But when I did my organization,
is Container Store a big sponsor?
Yeah, they have their own line at Container Store.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah. So what happened was they had always used their organizers, and when they got famous, basically when Khloe Kardashian posted them on her Instagram for her rainbow pantry, it was all Container Store, and it wasn't the long after before they had a partnership with Container Store, and now they have their own line. But they use the Coogies, the white containers. When I did my organization, I have a highlight. If you follow me on Instagram, I have a highlight of all my home organization I did in January. They use those Coogies white boxes too in their stuff. So, but I do love all the clear. They use all the clear stuff, and I
use a lot of clear, but my clear ones that I use. Let me see if I can find one. I use the literally the like 99-cent Sterlite one, the shoe boxes, and I use them up.
No, see, they use the acrylics, the clear acrylics.
No, those are really nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Monica wants them to drop the Home Edit team into an episode of Hoarders.
Oh my God, yes, Monica.
Okay, Hoarders. That is a show that
we're going to say the same thing.
I hate watch it. I watch it. The kids are obsessed with it. My children love that show, and they love My 600-Pound Life. And both of those shows I watch, and the entire time I'm angry.
Yes.
The entire show. I'm like, first of all, how did you get to I mean, you're a fucking pig that you're sleeping with a Snickers wrapper. Like, what kind of fucked up person are you and that you think that Snickers wrapper has value in your life? Like
Have you heard me say that whenever I eat something bad, like if I decide I'm going to go get something shitty for dinner, I'll sit on my couch and eat it, but I will make myself watch 600-Pound Life because I'm like, you can have this Taco Bell taco, but you can't have this every day.
But
And
at
I'll
least
watch that
you are
shit and
still
eat.
noble. Here's my other thing on like my 600-pound life that bothers the fuck out of me. Is these people are too fucking fat to bathe themselves, to go to the bathroom, to go anywhere. Everything that they get is from someone else. And that someone else is not like, no, you do not need 3 liters of Coca-Cola for lunch. That is the part. I'm like,
okay.
you know what? Maybe it's just I'm a bitch. I don't know. But if you were that big and anyone was that big and relying on me for sustenance, I would be like, no, here's a fucking carrot. Eat it or not. Or even if I bought you a hamburger, I'd be like, here's a hamburger. I'm not buying you 16 hamburgers.
Okay. You feel the way I do about intervention. So they go through the whole thing, intervention, and when they get to the very end and they start playing the credit music, you know, they tell you they did 3 months or they got there and they left 2 days later. When they fail, I'm so pissed on intervention when they fail. I'm like, I've invested an hour and you went back to the horse, right? Cocaine and heroin? No.
Michelle's so glad I'm drinking again.
Yeah, we're real. Yeah, I like Monica's. She said, I don't like their voices, annoys me. Monica on the home edit, their voices do annoy me. And they talk over each other. Talk.
Did they talk like that?
No, they're high pitched and excited and they talk over each other and the celebrity. It's kind of that annoyed me.
And here's the other thing about my 600-pound life is when you get the guy who likes to fuck the fat girl and he's like, I don't want her losing weight. And I'm like,
wait, that happens on that show?
Yeah, I've seen an episode of that where the guy's like, I like her fat and then he won't have sex with her after she loses the weight. P.S. She's still my 300-pound life after she loses the weight. So let's not pretend that we have gone from Precious to Halle Berry. Like, let's not pretend that is what is happening here.
Also, that guy has a problem. That's a fetish situation. That's not normal. But I feel this way about hoarders because it goes so slow. They're like, well, let me look at this bag and I got to see what on this. They got to look at every fucking thing. I'm like, somebody just go take them to therapy and have them come back in 4 days and finish the house.
Well, supposedly if you do that to a hoarder,
they won't. I know.
They start hoarding again because they don't feel like they have properly wished things well.
Yes.
Whatever. They need Marie Kondo is what they need because she's like, thank it, acknowledge it, and then wish well on the way. That is so helpful in all of that.
They just don't want to get rid of it. And then when they don't finish the house, it drives me nuts. There's
2 episodes that I've watched recently that drove me nuts enough that I remember them. There was one about a woman who lived in a split-level house, I think upstate New York or something, and her husband left her, and she has 2 sons. And they came back to help her move and all of that stuff. And the house was she was sleeping on a mattress that you could see the springs coming out of. And there was magazines and they started throwing stuff away. This is where it bothers me also. I know I don't want to be an enabler, but also don't be a fucking dick. Like your mother obviously has a problem.
Yeah.
So like be kind to her. My mama's got lots of problems. She actually signed up a few moments ago, so I can say this. But I'm kind to her about those problems, right? And so, it just drives me nuts with that. And then there was another one where it was meth mouth Martha, no teeth whatsoever. And the husband, they lived on the outskirts of Philadelphia, which is a shithole to begin with.
Yes.
If you've ever been to Philadelphia, I don't understand what other than that being the original seat of our government, it could burn down and I'd be like, where's the forest fire for Philadelphia? It is the grossest place ever. and the airport is literally the worst.
The
And
Philly airport?
the Philly airport is like the worst airport on the planet. Like,
Really? Worse
I
than LaGuardia
bet the
was? Wow.
Kandahar airport is nicer than the Philadelphia airport. But I've had to go to conferences in Wilmington, Delaware before, and you fly into Philadelphia, and it is the worst. But so they do this, and they have this a duplex, and they own both sides of it. They wanted to rent the one side, but they have so much cat feces on their side that no one wants to rent the other side. And I'm just like, oh my, how is this possible? And their kids don't do anything. That show,
I know.
I
It's just levels of like hysteria.
I cannot watch that show.
There was one this season where the lady, there was so much shit everywhere, and they had, it's bad when they have to wear the hazmat suits, right? Because they came in and they started counting cats, and they were like, if there's this many cats with all this junk, and there's just turds on the stove.
If these are the alive, if these are the alive cats, how many dead cats?
Exactly. So they had to go through the whole house, and they found like baby kittens just smashed flat, dehydrated, like they were like the smell.
Like we find geckos in our house, they're finding kittens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And these guys are wearing like masks because the cat urine is so bad, and she's living in it every day with nothing.
Nose blind. She eats some Febreze.
A truckload.
Well, also, I have an issue. I don't like seeing people get embarrassed. And so
you don't like that. You never watched American Idol because you didn't like that.
I don't like practical joke shows. I don't like on the radio where they call up somebody. I don't like things where people are in situations they may find themselves embarrassed. Everyone thinks I'm this cold-hearted bitch, but I do not like shows. I do not like seeing people be embarrassed. And so that is the other thing about hoarders that I don't like is how embarrassed these people are when they have this issue, and it just embarrasses me for them, and then I'm grossed out and all of that. But so by the way, y'all, Kerrie and I had nothing to talk about. We were like, what we're going to talk about. 37 minutes later, a lot of hoarders conversation, and Raven is agreeing with me. Philadelphia airport
smells like a homeless pee.
It smells like homeless pee. I have to fly there twice a year. My dog actually almost yacked at the smell in the elevator.
Oh my God.
And also, here's another thing about the Philadelphia airport that is the worst, is that its terminals have like 12 seats at them, and everyone else has to just hang out in the hallway.
Really?
It's the worst. It is.
I've never flown in there, so I didn't think anything could be worse than LaGuardia was before they started redoing it. But,
LaGuardia said, "Well, that's nice."
Because LaGuardia was so bad before they started this renovation project.
I literally walked through LaGuardia and had to step over toilet water. I wasn't in the bathroom. like toilet water coming out of the men's room. You had to step through.
LaGuardia still had those black signage, but with all the circle dot, the light. What do you call those from the 80s and 90s? Where the message would scroll.
And they weren't doing it ironically.
That was their signage.
Like a dot matrix kind of sign.
Yeah. Yes. Where we thought that was so fancy. I guess it was LED, but it looked like light brights, but the message would scroll. Those were at all their gates. And I was like, can you not get a flat screen television? Like, what?
By the way, I think that is like OG LED, right? Like,
yeah. With all the nodes. It had all the nodes.
I liked your comment about turds on the stove.
Oh, God. The turds were everywhere. Everywhere. Like, just turds and piss. I was just like.
Smells like cat biz.
Nothing.
Like, there's just nothing.
And this lady's she's propped up, got her hand on her hip. Propped up, like, well, I just make my way over here, and I have a little area of the counter I make food on. I'm like, how does this woman not have sepsis? Like, how does this not happen?
Like she's immune to everything at this point.
Yeah, at this point, she'd go to Mexico and drink the water. Speaking
of immune, completely change of subject. I learned something this week that I found very interesting. So, we get a lot of possums here at our house because we live across from a creek.
Your pet kitties.
They come and eat the cat's food. And I think possums are so fucking adorable until they're not, right? Like the little ones and even the medium-sized ones with their little Mickey Mouse ears. Yeah. They're so fucking cute. And we're on like generation 12 at this point. But then they get older and they just kind of, and then
Yeah.
the tail gets
Wow.
gross and long.
Scraggly.
But so I learned something about possums though this week. Did you know that possums are immune to rattlesnake and coral snake
Yep.
bites, and that they are the reason we have antidote for rattlesnake bites and coral snake bites. The antivenom comes from possums.
Yep.
And that they cannot get rabies because their temperature is too low.
Yep.
And they eat ticks and fleas and all kinds of shit in your yard.
Yep.
I had no, like, they're like the fucking Mother Teresa of
rodents. Go look up videos on YouTube.
I don't even think they're rodents. They're like marsupials or something. Right?
Yeah, I guess they are, right? Because they have a hard shell, right?
No,
not a hard shell. They have
a pouch, I think, don't they?
Something with their feet, right? Make them.
I don't know. No, true. I don't know. There's something about them.
Go look up on the internet. You can see them get stung by a snake bite. They pass out, and then a little while goes by, and they pop back up.
Do they pass out because they want the snake to just go the fuck away?
No, it does something to their system. They're sort of like, and they pass out, and then they come to in a couple of minutes.
Have you ever Googled this? Why have you ever Googled this? Like,
no, I saw it. Like when someone told me that, like sent me something, I was like, that is fast. I think I saw it on. What did I see it on? Because I only learned this a couple of years ago.
They're North America's only marsupial, according to Kelly Bobbitt Rudda. And my sister says they got a pouch.
That's right. That's what it is. It's a pouch. I'm like, not a shell. They have a pouch. Yeah, their babies they're cute. If you've ever seen their little, they're in there like a kangaroo. But yeah, they just they just kind of pass out and then they get back up. Also, the badger. I think the badger also does that.
I don't know.
Yes, the honey badger. Do you remember the honey badger videos?
No.
When they scurry into the holes to get stuff and the snakes bite them. And they also pass out, and then they come to later. Huh. Yeah, badgers. That
also reminds me of my lower 20s.
Yeah, badgers are immune to snake venom. That's what
Really?
Honey. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's more animals. Wait, which animals are immune to snake venom? Hold up. The hedgehog, the mongoose, the honey badger. Honey badgers don't give a shit. The possum and a few other birds that feed on snakes are known to be immune to a dose of snake venom. Son of a bitch.
Things that you did not know, but you now know.
The more you know.
Yes.
NBC. Yeah, I think that's fascinating the way nature works that way.
For every asshole animal, there is a equal and opposite, like, amazing animal. But all of it, other than the hedgehog, those are all terrifying looking animals.
Yeah. But they say that about insects too, that they all serve a purpose. And I'm like, really? Mosquitoes? Really?
See, how do mosquitoes survive? This is what because they are so thick right now. I'm like, every year it fucking freezes for at least 3 days. How do mosquitoes, like, why was the first freeze not like, you're extinct?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the larvae, I don't know. It's in the water, right? How could I know? But yeah, I don't understand. Same thing with bees. I understand what they're for, but when they sting you, they die. Like mosquitoes have the lifespan. A fly has like a lifespan of 3 days.
Bees migrate.
Yeah.
Also, mosquitoes are born within like 100 feet of where they die.
Yeah. And bees have a purpose, like they're little worker bees, and they give us honey, and they, mosquitoes don't do shit. I don't understand why we have mosquitoes and flies. Or ants. I mean, I guess ants colonize and do things, but what? I don't understand what ants do. We have an ant eater, so there you go. I suppose the ant eater has to have something to eat.
Yeah.
And birds eat mosquitoes, but really there's just too many. I don't understand.
Bats eat lots. We have a lot of bats in our neighborhood too.
It's true. Can we not eradicate mosquitoes somehow? If we can figure out how to have Honeycrisp apples all goddamn year, can we not get rid of mosquitoes?
My sister claims that bees will bump you before stinging you.
I've seen that. Yeah, where they give you like.
Raven wants to know why we have fleas.
Fleas, yes, right. Or ticks. We don't need ticks. Oh, God. Yeah, I hate ticks. I grew up on a farm and still, I hate the sight of the tick. I want
to tick off the head of my penis.
What?
It's actually a very common thing for guys. When you're a child,
because that's your appendage and you're not paying attention to it.
It's a warm, moist spot. You probably haven't done the right things by it. Actually, I wish my mom were still on because technically, I think she was the one who pulled it off of my little boy penis. But I remember that explicitly. Yes.
My friend Jennifer, when I was in grade school, we were in ballet class together. She was changing for ballet class and came running out of the bathroom because there was one on her nipple. She was like, "Ma!" I'll never forget that.
So I emptied the first glass of wine since I've not been drinking, and now I'm talking about ticks on my dick. Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. I fell off the wagon hard.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. You never know what the fuck you're going to get with us. You never know. You
never know what shit I will say.
Oh my God.
Aaron is talking about the warmer the climate gets, the more ticks and lice will have.
I know.
Would you know that lice is actually an affliction of the clean people, not of the dirty people? Lice do not like dirty hair. They actually don't like dark hair. They don't like black people's hair. They don't like black people never get lice ever.
No, they don't.
It is an affliction of skinny white girls with long blonde hair. That is who gets lice. And then they spread it to everybody else. Everyone hears about lice and they're like, ew, lice. Oh, filthy people. And no, it's like the uptight, whitey white of whitest people.
With that fancy shampoo.
Mm-hmm. There's a place called the Lice Ladies that they charge you hundreds of dollars.
I've heard about this, but I've heard that parents are so like, do something about it.
That they'll pay it. And actually, our school requires if your kids get lice, you're not allowed to self-treat. You are required to go to a place that provides a certification that they are lice-free.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like $300 a head.
I mean, that's how a lot of little girls with long hair get their hair chopped off for the first time in grade school. You know what?
Yeah. Yeah. Nope. And iPads. So we've had it happen. We've had a lot of lice in our house, actually. Even though Claire has brown hair, it's because the iPads, they all touch heads with each other to look at the iPads. Because lice don't jump. Lice, you have to have actual contact for lice to go from hair follicle to hair follicle or whatever. And so we went to the Lice Ladies and had them taken off. And they said that because of iPads, it used to be lice for only young kids things, but now that more kids are to get, like teenagers or even get lice sometimes because they're smushing their heads together to look at the same TikTok video or whatever.
Interesting. I never thought about that. I never got it as a kid. I mean, I remember how often it happened. We had to line up in the hallway, in grade school. And the teachers all checked our heads. Do they do that in school anymore?
So when we have outbreaks at our school, all the kids then get checked. And they look for nits and all of that kind of stuff.
Because you remember when like Timmy wouldn't come back into class, you were like, oh. And then everyone was like, you were hanging out with him this morning. I saw y'all on the playground on the seesaw.
That's the OG COVID right there.
It is. And everyone else would avoid you. Like, no, they hung out with Timmy this morning. Oh my God. That is the OG Mean Girls right there. That was our first indication of. That's how we first classism, right? That's how we first started
to. This. But the funny thing is, the ones who get it are usually the ones who are in the upper class, like the superior class. The pretty girls with the clean hair and the blonde hair and all of that stuff. They also don't like color treated hair. So if your hair is not naturally blonde and you color it blonde, they don't like your hair because it has been it's rough. Like one of the reasons. Aside from liking blonde, which I don't have much right now, one of the reasons I color my hair is that I have such fine, limp hair that it just destroys my hair, and it gives it more body. And so it's hard for me to get lines.
Well, see, you're stripping color. I'm depositing color, so I just cover gray. I deposit. I get my roots done every 3 weeks.
That's how gray?
Oh, it just comes in white now. Yeah,
wow.
It doesn't even come in gray. My dad was all gray by the time he was in his early 20s, and my grandmother by the time she was like 60 was all white. My dad has all white head now.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm constantly having to do every 3 weeks.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm. It's a pain in the ass.
Okay, girl, I got to wrap this up. It's 50 minutes now, and I gotta go do a lap dance for my husband or something.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't even got the shit I bought him yet. So I probably need to pretend I was on for an hour and take 10 minutes to throw it in some Amazon bag.
Throw it into a bag with some tissue.
So here's the thing. I hope my mother-in-law's not watching. They sent a present and I have no idea where I put it. So I gotta
Was it recent or during the construction and all that?
No. They sent a present for Todd like 2 weeks ago, and it arrived. And I know it's in the house because I remember getting it, but I don't remember where I put it. So now I'm going to be opening all of the things.
Where do you look? Go look where you normally hide things.
That's the thing, is then I'll be like, no, this is where Todd knows to look, so I'm not going to hide it there. But then I don't remember the place where I hid it.
Maybe the garage.
No, I think it's probably in the closet in here. Actually, I literally haven't looked at all. So
that's funny. Monica's saying, "Show us what you got him."
What you got him? I'm not showing you because he sometimes watches this live, and he still has to open them. So don't want to ruin that surprise. Also, I'm empty, so
yeah.
But if I'm going to be drinking, I'm going to be drinking.
That's right. Commit.
Yes. Alrighty.
Commit.
So everyone, I'm going to say bye. I am not on tomorrow. I have a meeting tomorrow that is very important, and I cannot miss it. So I have to miss this instead. I know. I hate it. But so I will, everyone, well, thank you, Kerrie, for being on today. But everyone, I will see you on Friday at 4:30. And in the meantime, I love you. It is important to know you are loved. Kerrie loves you too. We all love you. And love that you watch. This is my daily therapy right here. Remind me to talk about next time. I'm starting to do some protocols for reopening my office. Reopening these, putting up like these shields and stuff. So I know it's weird. Things I never thought I would do. But anyway, I will see you on Friday. Thank you, Kerrie, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone wear a fucking mask and just take care of yourself.